Hey guys, it's Elaine, the Ninja Life Coach, and welcome to my channel today. Today, we're going to talk about when darkness falls. So sit back, grab yourselves a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Hey everybody, I'm back. There's an old saying that goes, into each life a little rain must fall. And that is certainly true of the human condition and the human life. Everybody has times in their life when rain and darkness falls on our lives. Some of us are widows, and those times have been, when you lose your spouse. Could be when you lose a child, a mother, a father, someone close to you, a close friend. But darkness is going to fall at various times in our lives, unfortunately, and we will not be rid of that darkness until we leave this earth and we walk in the light. How do we handle that? For me, as a widow, walking through the valley of the shadow of death, if you will, was something that definitely wasn't pleasant. But now that I'm through that valley and I'm over on the other side of that, I can look back and remember a lot of lessons that I've learned. I know there were times when I was walking through that I would just pray and ask God, Lord, can you teach me everything I need to know while I'm in this valley so I don't have to walk through this again? I feel like the lessons that I learned when I was in my deepest despair and grief are lessons that will carry me through to the end of my life. And I fully believe that it can be the very same way for you. I think the difference between widows who walk through the valley of the shadow of death and emerge victorious on the other side, and the ones who do not, is simply the desire to come from where we are. I do talk to some widows who I can almost guarantee after maybe one or two conversations, they are not going to recover because they simply don't believe that they can. They believe that this is a life-changing event, which it is. They believe that they are defined by this grief, which they are not. And they feel it is somehow disloyal to their departed spouse if they recover from their grief, which it definitely is not. Now, I'm here today to talk to my widows and to encourage you. When darkness falls and when you feel like that despair is just going to overtake you, overwhelming, and ladies, it is. It is dark, it is depressing, it is overwhelming. You feel like you are going to physically die. I cannot explain that any better than that. It is a pain that starts here and your heart literally aches. Literally hurts. In time, that gets less, and in time, it does dissipate. But the only way to walk through that is to give it some time, allow yourself to heal, let God help you, and move forward as much as you possibly can towards your goal of getting out of the darkness into the light, walking through the valley of the shadow of death into the presence of God. Because we somehow get the feeling that if it's dark, that God isn't with us. I know I had that feeling. But we have to remember, the Bible tells us that He never leaves us, nor does He forsake us. So even in those times when we don't feel it, He is still there. And those lessons that we learn like that, when we're walking through the darkness, when those times come, we can remember the lessons that we learned when we were in the valley of the shadow of death. And we will learn about the goodness of God, the mercy of God, the sheer overpowering awesomeness of God, and how He was with us in that valley, even if we didn't feel anything. We can take a stand on His word because that's what His word says. When we feel like that valley is getting ready to overtake us, we can say, I've walked through this before. This is what I did. This was the outcome. And this is how it impacted me. And this is what I learned. And if we will take a stand on those lessons learned, our next journey through the valley will be a little less frightening to us. I'm not saying that there are not going to be times when we grieve. I'm not going to say that there's not going to be times when we cry, we wail, we gnash our teeth. I'm not going to say there's not going to be times like that, because there will. We live in the earth. There are going to be times like that. But if we know and understand we can put our trust in God and we want to move forward as widows, we can and we will. Listen, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful day. God bless you all. Links to everything are down in the description box. God bless you. Maranatha, folks. Love you guys.